Hey Libra, welcome to Tourmaline Tarot. We're going to do your weekly real quick. Lovers, okay, out of the gate, doing well. Put that so you can see it. Then we have, ooh, it's a chunk, but you know what? I feel like we need to do it because it's Nine of Swords reversed, Eight of Wands reversed, Knight of Cups, Ten of Wands. Okay? So, then the World. I'm not saying it has to be a relationship, but there is something that is kind of not coming to a natural close, but there's something that's not being given to. Because you have the Lovers, you have this decision point, and this is before we clarify. We have the Nine of Swords reversed, which means you're out of some kind of mental loop, and the Eight of Wands reversed is not giving to it. You're not moving towards it anymore. You're also not talking about it. You're also like not going through it. I feel like in some way this has been something that has been rehashed, repackaged, redealt with, and with the Knight of Cups and the Ten of Wands, you still end up somehow being the one who has to be the giver, has to be holding most of the bag. If that makes sense. Something is not equitable. Someone's not taking their share. And in some way, it's like we have to kind of end the cycle here, you know? But also I like to point out with the World, it's in a laurel wreath. So that means some kind of victory. You're not walking away empty-handed, but it's time for, you know, there's a phasing out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship just because it's the Lovers. So there is some kind of thing going on, like I said, decision-wise. But it's almost, you know, since it's majors, it's kind of like a larger decision. It's not just like, you know, I'm going to choose to wear these pants today. It's more like looking at if there's any kind of themes, if there's any kind of reoccurring stuff. It's like it's time to like not give to it anymore. Because somehow it winds up still being your responsibility somehow. And with the 10, you're also kind of done with it, right? So you're realizing you have a 9 and an 8 here too. So you were kind of at the upper end of this anyway. Because with the Lovers, 6 of Cups, I'm not saying you had rose-colored glasses about something, but I feel like if this is a situation with a person, you knew them when. You knew them when they were an a-hole. You knew them when they didn't do stupid stuff. You know, there's something about it where you're like, I know that it was different. I know that there was some kind of thing about it that made you be like, it wasn't always like this. And it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a situation. You know, a job could have been great, but then you get like a new boss or a new manager or something, and it's not the same. You know, something changed that's not the same. Page of Cups, reversed. So yeah, something wasn't giving back. I feel like there's also, I'm not going to say a breakdown in communication, but it just, something's not the same. And somehow you feel like you're the one that's kind of, I hate to say holding it together, but the one who always has to be like, I'll fix it, I'll get it. And that could be in a work situation, relationship, family dynamic, chosen or biological, whatever it may be. But the King of Cups with the 3 of Wands. Because I like this because you have the Page of Cups back here, where there is like a little bit of a drain, you know what I mean? But then over here, you get to be the King of Cups, where you're more emotionally in control, capable of manifesting now. Because I feel like, you know, you're in more control of the swords. Not swords, listen to me. Because I was looking at the Nine of Swords. Of the Wands. You know, the actions that are taken. So, you know, it might, I'm not going to say it's like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Because we're talking about a week. But something does kind of make you go like, nah. And I'm not going to hold this anymore. And then it's like, okay, you're more concerned with like, okay, what do I need to do? You know, instead of like holding all these wands for people, you're just not giving to it as much. Or at all. Because what is What is Libra manifesting here with this Three of Wands? Okay, that's a chunkaroo. I feel like, okay, go with me on this. I feel like there's a little bit of universe take the wheel. Because you have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, which is a very like, I'll do it myself, you know, card. Because sometimes it is, I'll do it myself. You're kind of giving that up in some way. You know, you might, and also you might not realize everything that you have in some way. But with the Emperor being reversed over here and Judgment being in the middle, there is an element of like, you don't have to do it yourself. There is kind of a not saying control freak, but I feel like you might have been pushed into that with whatever this was. With the Emperor reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, it was like there's an allowing. And Judgment is like, yo, Libra, I see you. I'll point you in a direction. Just keep your eyes peeled. You know what I mean? There's some kind of like, you're loosening your grip. And you're like, ah, when you're putting the wands down. Okay? So there is something that you're kind of allowing things more, but not the crummy kind of allowing. You're just kind of letting things evolve the way they need to, because with the Three of Wands, you know it's possible. And with the King of Cups, you're coming at it from a better angle because you're kind of in this new phase where it's like you're not being pushed. You're not trying to appease people or be like, because I know it could be different. You're like, yeah, well, anything could be different, but at the same time, you know, oh my gosh, I thought I picked up the Oracle. So whatever's keeping you stuck, no more. Because we have the Fool upright, and then we have the Ten of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed. I don't think the King of Pentacles reversed is like, oh, I'll never get what I want. But I feel like in some way you have to do the King of Cups bit before. You have to kind of get your emotions in check before the King of Pentacles can happen. Because you're done. You're literally moving on. You're not, and it's going to be a process. You know, get your emotions in check, get your ducks in a row there, and then take it from there. So King of Pentacles is possible. I can't believe I totally picked up the Oracle, and I looked down and I'm like, it's the Tarot. Again, so I had more to say. All right, Libra. Something's bugging you with the mice. There's some just kind of like gnawing feeling going on. So we have the Medal, the Bride, the Wine, and then the Whip. It's on, I want to say, like, if you're doing stuff to get recognition and then it doesn't happen, but like you think like, oh, this is it, it's short-lived. And then it kind of goes back to the same kind of petty argument-y stuff. Or there could be, I'm not saying you're chasing it, but things have been short-term band-aids on stuff. You're doing stuff reactionary. Just be like, because it's the short term. But really there is a need for some discipline that kind of puts a kibosh on that. That's like, no. We're doing the long-term thing. We're not doing this like, fix it quick, you know, put some duct tape on it, keep moving. If that makes sense. So, Libra, why didn't you want to come out? The Lilies. Okay, this is kind of like, it's the Wheel of Fortune worldy card. You're moving into a new phase. Okay, and we're getting the key in the ring, which means cycles. But also, like I said, there's an element of victory to it, because like the world has the laurel. This is like brass ring. I think of, you know, carousels where you grab the brass ring. I know I'm going along with this, but you're entering into a new phase. But like I said, it's a long-term phase. There is no more of this, you know, slap some duct tape on it, keep moving. This is like you're getting into it. And you're allowing stuff to kind of be like, okay, I don't have to keep my hands on everything. I can kind of see what comes. So Libra, this is good for you, and I think this is just the start. Not even talking about this week. I think it's just, this goes deeper than that. But that's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you later.